Hello, Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. In this session, I would like to cover the fundamentals of control statements, Java control statements. What is control statements? We'll see with a few examples. We'll cover only the one part of the control statements. All right. So let's begin quickly. Control statements basically change the flow of the program execution. See, so far we have wrote some programs which will execute the statements and instructions as the way you write the program. You write the first line, second line, third line statements or commands. It will execute in the same order. The order you write the program, it will execute in the same order. Now in real time, we have a different situations. We would like to to execute some statements based on some conditions. We would like to skip this statement. We like to jump from one statement to another statement based on some conditions. Also, we'd like to uh, repeat some statements, a block of statements. So in this case, we need a control statements. So basically, it will alter the flow of program execution. So that's the control statements in any programming language. This is the basic fundamentals. So this all real-time applications or programs have these features, so you can achieve the program your objective of the uh, problem statements. Anyway, the control statements is alter the or change the flow of the program execution. Simple definition. This is not a theory class, it's a practical class. Just I would like to review. And there are three types of control statements: conditional decision making control statements. It has various types of conditional control statements, as if statement, if else statement, nested if else, switch case statements. Right, so these are all the part of the conditional control statement. Inshallah, we'll look into this today's session. The next we have a repetition or loop or iteration control statement. They are different names. You can say repetition, loop control statements, or iteration, loop, iteration control statements. In this, we have examples like for loop, while loop, do while loop, and we have something which is related to for loop. It's called enhanced loop or for each loop. Little bit we have enhanced extension of the for loop, right? And we have the third one control statement, jump control statements. It is break, continue, and key and return. So basically these are the keywords. Break is a keyword, continue is a keyword, and return is a keyword. It has some purpose, right? We'll see this one inshallah during the repetition control statements or during the conditional control decision making control statements. All right, so again I would like to go with some prerequisite to continue the, I mean, prerequisite to this topic is Java operators. We utilize the Java operators in our programs. So we have already covered basic arithmetic operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as well as we have covered the unary operators like addition, increment, decrement operators, and we have not operator also is covered inshallah, and we have modulus operator. We have covered this, and addition, subtraction. And we will, in this session, we have to use the relational operators. You see the relational operators, we'll learn about the relational operator today. So we'll utilize the relational operators for our control statements. So we have seen this. You see, these are the different types of operators. There are a lot of operators. They are the very few and basic or most frequently used operators. Okay, listed here. So these are unary operators. You see the precedence here. The priority is for this unary operator. We have a group of expressions. We have an expression with a mixed of operators. So the priority goes to the unary operator. Then second, it will goes to the multiplication, division, and mod operator. The next, it will go addition, subtraction. Then it will have a precedence or a fourth number. You can say generally from this list, fourth number. It is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equal to, this is equal to, not equal to operator. These are all relational operators. Beside this relational operator, again there is another relational operators are called logical operators. They are called logical operators. And operator, this is a symbol for and, this is a symbol for or operators, and everyone knows this is assignment operator. This is not equal, this is not equal, this is the lowest operator priority. Okay, the last one, basically assignment, the result. So these are all the operators and the precedence. You make sure you memorize these operators and precedence level. So we will use these operators in this session. So I will explore again the relational operators here. For example, we have seen this. These are the operators, relational operators. Equal to, this is, you see the equals to. It's not assignment. It is equal to operator. There are two savi, right? Now you see example. If a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 2, for example, the below, you say a. How do you write the expression? You write the expression as a condition. This is condition. So when you evaluate the relational operator, the result always return a boolean, either true or false, any one of the option, any one of the boolean is always a result will be always a boolean. The evaluation, the result of any relational operator is a boolean. Just simple this part, right? So this equal operator, that's what I'm doing here. Like I'm checking I'm comparing. This is called comparing. Is a is equal to b, 10 equal to 2? False. It is not. 10 is not equal to 2, right? It's false. Now it is right. 10 not equal to, how do you write it? 10 not equal to b. B is 2, 10 is not equal to 2. This is true. And you can write less than symbol, less than or equal to. You need to write less than or equal to in Java. And make sure there should not be space between two symbols. You see, less than or equal to. It is not and, it is or, less than. It will check any one of them, right? So less than, there should not be any space between these two symbols, right? It has different meanings in this case. So these are all the relational operators. I hope you understand this part. And we have a logical operators. We'll see with the help of example, right? So and we have next is three logical operators. And operator, how do you employ and, how do you use and in Java? If you have more than one conditions, if you have more than one condition, we have a equal to b and a is not equal to b, or a less than or equal to b, or a is greater than or equal to b. So we have more than one condition called compound statements, compound expressions. So we have to use and operator or operator. So what are the symbols in Java? How do you see this and operator? This is and operator is ampersand, ampersand. Make sure there is no space, right? So r, this is r symbol, and this is not exclamation. This is not symbol in Java. Hope it's very clear, right? So inshallah, now we'll start with the conditional statements, that is simple decisions, if statement and if else. Theoretically, you read the chapters. Okay, we'll go with the practical part. Okay, if statement and if else statement. So let's open the NetBeans. Okay, so this is our first main method. Hope it's visible clearly. So for example here, if statement here, I can say int a equal to, for example, before we go int, let's show you the operators here. A equal to 10, use the same thing. B equal to 2. All right, so this is simple here. If I want to see the result s out, I just say here result. You see the result here. What is the result here? It is the result of a equal to b. A equal to b. You see, this is an expression, right? You must have some space here, and the brackets must be included in the bracket. So now this is a equal to b. 10 is equal to 2. It's a false, right? So run the file. You see the result. Taking time, maybe something first time, it's written false. So I can say a not equal to b. So here don't give space here, use space for the expression for readability. That's good. Now this is good, right? Now you run the file, you see here shift 6, or you say true very quickly. Now don't provide any space here. This gives an error. Look carefully, right? Expected something. So there's no space here. I can say a equal to b, a greater than b. That's true. 10 is greater than, or you can write equal to. That's also true. It will check any one of them, either greater than or equal, right? Less than, are equal. You can write all the programs by you can check this part. This is the result always Boolean. You see the result is Boolean, right? So this is a condition, the status of condition, status of the condition. Based on this evaluation of Boolean expression, we will perform the control statement. We will continue like the decision. We can make a decision. How do you make a decision in real life? If it is this or this, I mean like a true or false, yes or no. Okay, so let's see this part. So this is a condition. This is expression. Okay, expression must always a Boolean. Remember, this is one you make a thumb rule, like expression always results a Boolean value, true or false, right? So this part is here. So like example here, if I say another thing, basically any other example here, door. So door, I would like to say here simple. I want to demonstrate simple if. Let's see here, simple if or if statement, right? For example here, if the door is open, okay, if door open, for example, door is open. Open is a condition. If it is open or closed, like if the door is like close or open, like a close is false, open is true, right? So let's make a condition here. Boolean. How do you write Boolean? Boolean door. Initialize the door here as true. I assume door is open. It means it is open. I can say door is open because it is true. Now if it is true, right, I can just say here welcome to the class. Right, welcome to the class. So if you check now Boolean, what I initialize door is equal to true, right? So if door, what is door value here? True. If true, of course, if true, give the proper indentation. Okay, now this brackets, if you want you can add brackets here, more clear, right? So this one, you say if the door, now this, how does it work? If the condition is true, this, what is the condition here, is door is true. If this condition is true, this statement or statements inside this block, this called block or body, will execute. This is what conditional statement. If the condition is true only, it will execute. That's it. It will not take any other actions, right? So based on this program, the program will, you say here, run it. It will say, welcome to the Java class. It will execute. For example, it is false. Now the condition is false. If it is false, this will not execute, will not have any output on the file. So it's very simple here. That's why I read simple if. If condition, it will execute the body a statement only if the condition is true. That's it. It will not do any other action. It will not do any things. So these statements are block of statement can be executed, right? Okay, I can write here more statement. Example, s out statements. Example, chapter 5. Okay, like chapter 5. I'm learning in this class chapter 5 or chapter 6, whatever the number. So I can say block. Now it is make it true. I can say here on the file chapter 5. For example, like it is false. Door is closed. It's like a door is closed. False money is closed, right? So this is for understanding. Okay, so run the file. It will not execute, not give anything false. So I'm using, sorry, here. This one is store. So store, run the file. Since it is closed, it will not give any output. All right. So this is one. So this is one. Now here group. This block is important. Try to understand the block. Whatever inside the block, it will execute if the condition is true. One statement, two statement, three statement. But if you have only one statement, example, this is not here. If you have only one statement, this is not necessary. The brackets are not necessary. The curly brackets are not necessary. All right. So we have class here. So this is not necessary at all. For example, if you write anything, any other thing, you see indentation, proper indentation is important. takes to the next line here. For example, if I write like this, so uh, exit the program. Okay, now what do you think here? Like example, this is a true, this is a true. Now you say here, if the condition door is open, true. True means it will execute the body. Since there is no brackets, it assume only the first statement. It will not assume the second statement as a block, as a group. So it will execute. And this statement is outside the condition. It is not inside the condition, not the space, right? You can write it here, doesn't matter, right? So because this warning is because of space, proper spacing. Okay. So this statement, this line number 9, it assume it is not a part of the condition because there is no brackets. It is like by default, it is like this. By default, because if you assume like this, okay. So I just like here, I want to show you, it will now with this condition is true, this will print as well as this will print. So run the file, it will print both the statements. Welcome to Java class, exit the program, right? Now here I can say here false. Look at the scenario, different scenario. Now here run the file, it will, now the condition is false, door false, this will not execute, but it will execute because it is not a part of the condition. Okay, it is outside the, it will execute since there is no brackets. Hope it is very clear. Okay, so this is one simple if demonstration of simple if statement. Let's do the if else statement. The next part is if else statement. How do you execute this part, right? For example, you can say here instead of boolean here, I can just change the conditions here. If else statement. Okay, so I can say here if, you can say here the same thing. If you take the same thing or expression here, for example here int a equal to 5 and comma b equal to 4 are two values. If a greater than, I'm using a greater than b, okay, you can say here a greater than b. Okay, you just say here a is the largest. I just want to build. Then if it is not largest, it is smallest. Or then b is the largest. I can say b is the, just like a largest value. Which of one of them is largest value, right? So if you want to make it like this, use more readability, right? So this one, no spaces within the bracket, but spaces between the operations. So here see here, now a equal to 5, b equal to 4. Now I'm checking a, b greater than, I mean a greater than b, 5 greater than 4, true. This is true. When it is true, you print the largest. Otherwise it is the smallest, or you can say b is the largest, or you can say it's the smallest, whatever you can write it here. Now as per these conditions, so this will execute if and only if the condition is true and is largest, right? So run the file. So as per this one, it will print only one, it will not print both, right? Because this condition false. This will execute only if the condition is true. Otherwise, if the condition false, it will print. Clear? Now, one more thing I will add here, s out exit. Not, don't confuse here again. Run the file. A is the largest and exit. So exit is, it will not comes under the any of this block of statements. It's outside because only one statement here, only one statement each. There is no brackets here. So this is, so the program flow, you see the flow, it will execute this line, then it will execute this line. So based on this line, it will execute either this or this. This is how you make a condition. Based on the condition is true, it will execute these statements or block of statement, else this statement. No need to check the another condition. That is the purpose of else here. Okay. So and this is statement is execute irrespective of your condition true or false. All right, so and you can add more statements here, more like for example a greater than b and b greater than less than c, or you can say b less than c. If I add c here, sorry, a greater than b and a greater than c, a greater than c, that is c equal to 3. I can say comparing with three things. But what I want to show here is I would like to show you two things here: logical and or. I hope everyone knows this one, right? So logical and, the two condition must be true. Now the condition a greater than b is true and a greater than c true. If both the condition is true, this is true and this is true, the result will be true. For both the condition must be true, then the result will be true. The whole will be become a true conditions. If anyone false, for example, a is, for example here 30, c is 30. Now a is 5, a is greater than b is true. This is true. Now this is a is greater than 30, false. So true and false, result will false. For AND operation, always the result will be true if both the expression, both the conditions are true. If one of them is false, result is false. Unlike R, here. So in this case, okay, I can say here R operation. How do you write it here? R. That's slash. Okay, this is R operation, R operator, you can say. So any one of them is true, this result will be true. Now here is true, this is false. The result is true. Okay. If both false, it will false. So this is, I hope everyone knows this one in theoretical class. So we'll see the next lab sheets in the next session. Okay.